All right. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube, I want to present you the ugly Ironman at the heart of this inverted inline gasification unit. I'll do a whiteboard kind of thing later on. Somebody asked me about that already. Actually, a couple. But yeah, I'm going to do that. Right now, I'm just undoing it and like kind of gulping on some of the cost of all this is what it comes down to. Is give me a second and I'm gonna see if I can. Well, I did that one pretty good. But here's the actual top of the combustion chamber, and when it comes time to doing this, this will all be backfilled with quartz sand right here, and I'll just dip out the sand, and at that time I'll just drill 2 holes and make a tool that I can lock in there and just give it a half a twist and then pull up on it like a dent puller, kind of a tool. Modify something like that. Is with the same kind of L that you use for, pulling a dent, but just use 2 of them, so I can turn it at the same time. The sand is just silicon dioxide. This is fairly coarse. I just had that so you can see that's the actual top of the combustion chamber. And so it'll from there to about here is hopefully we're going to calm this down while it's fired to get an ambient temperature of about 500 degrees on the top side of a 1/4-inch plate, or I might find a cabinet shop that can cut me about a 24-inch diameter. This is a little bit more, but I would need it, about that 24-inch diameter, like a granite circle or something like that. I might look into that. I don't know. As a baking surface is what I'm trying to get at. Is I don't know if I bring it all the way out to here or not, only because let me get back down, y'all. That was getting a little bit much anyways. Sketchy at best. Is there's going to be a 3/4-inch coil, a piece of like not chicken wire but like lath or the legit construction wire, 1/4-inch construction wire. And it'll be encircling this, and then grout will be backfilled into that, a high tensile grout, so it can be cut and broken away and then removed. I'll probably wrap the coils with aluminum foil, so the concrete will get up to them, and even like mold the aluminum around it, but the aluminum will act like a collector, and a thermal to turn the heat back into the coils. And to keep them clean, that's the reason I'd use it. But the back, like I said, up in here, we're gonna fill this up full of the sand, and I wanted to take this video before I got that far. And if you look at the last video, the reason I did the last video when I did it is because you'd never have noticed hard oil except for the streaks. But you wouldn't have noticed that it was like a botched pour. And I wanted to point it out. Don't do this, don't do that kind of thing. And it's really obvious what happened here as it like soaked it away. It just don't work. You can mix all you want. The concrete, if it's not homogeneously mixed as a powder, it's just not going to work well for you. Today's to do is to backfill the void with the sand. And hook up the exhaust pipe, the flue pipe. I'll show you on the other side of this. Can I get that far? Yeah, see, there's the flue. And I had I had somebody ask me the question. Yeah, the flue is actually, it's lower than the door. That's another reason why that the way this burns, this is only where it's making the fuel. I mean, you put the wood in, but the heat that's, I don't know if I can get in on this so you can see it or not, but there's 2 walls to this. There's the outer that the concrete is in, and then there's the inner, the firebox, and around that is right in here, that gap is air, and then up above in a ring is holes that allow the air to come back into the firebox. And under all this, the firebox doesn't go to the bottom. That's the ash underneath here. It's all, you can't see it because I don't got a good enough light, I guess. Oh, there we go. The slots are just cut into the bottom of that container. And I'm going to open them up a little bit bigger so chunks about that size can not go through, but it'll give them more of a chance to get burned up completely. It just was a little bit too tight, is what I'm trying to get at for the material that I'm using. What else is there? The cleaning it up is it should clean up rather nice, is what I'm trying to get at. I've cleaned up the top up here, and it looked rougher than that, believe it or not. And the top cleaned up fairly nice. It did make it like horribly dirty, and that's why I stopped. But next I'll clean up around the face of that, and it should make it look a lot better. The steel band stays until we get the tube, until the coils are in, and then backfilled with grout, and like I said, some kind of a lath, a good lath, you know what I mean, that will, because this is going to constantly be overheated, like at its core over 1100, and then so this is just going to be cooled down to 2 something ish, because it can't, boil the water, is what I'm trying to get at, and it can't, but it'll give it about 10 inches of thermal mass to hold through the heat. And I've done the same concept, but on a stove half of this size, with not even near the potential, where it could only get up to about 600 degrees, and so this should work rather well, with about 4 times the mass and its potential being like off the charts in comparison. In all it is, it still fires the same. You just don't fire it for as long a duration, and then it acts like a thermal battery. But okay, this is the ugly Ironman, and at its heart, it is solid 304 stainless steel, 2 walls. The outer thickness, I think it's don't get me lying on this. I would have to gauge it. I don't even want to say. I would have to gauge the 2 thicknesses. And I don't have that, is what I'm saying. I don't have a micrometer for that. And if anybody wants to gift me a micrometer or a laser temperature thingy, or a high temp one, it was like $60 is what I'm trying to get at, and the micrometer is just about that much. But get with me on my email, and I'll give you my address, and you can Amazon them here, is what I'm trying to get at. But that's only for the next couple days. Other than that, I'm going to get them myself. At least the laser thing, the micrometer, I'm not that interested in. But back to this, and yeah, if on the other video I explained that this is like a mess up, and don't do it this way, y'all. It is, whenever you mix concrete together, homogeneously mix the sand with the dust, or the Portland. The cement, mix it homogeneously in with the sand before you add water, or it'll turn out like that band right there, and you don't want that. It's just, except it's 10 inches this way and only 6 inches that way, or 5 inches. It's not a big issue, and it has a stainless steel core. I mean, it doesn't have to be strong in the least. It's just void is all it is. So I'm not worried about that. But okay, I'm going to end this, and then I'm going to get to doing the exhaust, and I might do another video on its first firing up and jazz like that. Okay, talk to you then.